All right, this meeting of the International Falls Economic Development Authority is open. Administrator Anderson, could you note the attendance with Commissioner Deitch absent from the meeting? Secretary Anderson, I'm going to hand the meeting to you.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the Commission. Briefly, the special meeting is just called to order to clean up some paperwork and authorization for signatures that were necessary in order to proceed with our sale of refunding bonds, which, as we had discussed at the previous City Council meeting, will occur on February 10th. The actual bids will be submitted to the municipal advisor that we've engaged from Northland Securities, and those will be received at 10:30, and then we'll be meeting as a EDA at 5 o'clock that day to consider those bids and then to award the sale to the company that offers the lowest true interest cost. So in order to move forward, though, one of the actions that we had taken was adopting a resolution moving forward with setting the sale. And we had approved minutes at the last EDA meeting, and we had approved minutes on January 13th. And for that meeting, I'm just offering that we amend those minutes. And you can see on the first page of the minutes for January 13th, that's included in your packet, towards the bottom of the page in the last paragraph before adjourn, I'm just suggesting that we add the language per the attached extract of minutes made a part hereof. And then you can see attached is a copy of the extract of minutes that were prepared by the advisor. And basically all this is doing is including the resolution that you acted on as part of the minutes. So the language of the resolution is just being incorporated into the minutes is the only reason for doing that, because they have prepared this extract of minutes. And the way we typically act is we put in the minutes action to approve a resolution, and then we have a resolution as part of a separate document. And this is just included in the minutes, so I'm just asking that you approve the minutes as amended, which would add that sentence, or to the sentence that would say, per the attached extract of minutes made a part hereof, and then I've attached the several pages of the resolution that you've already acted on, and make it part of the minutes.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to amend the minutes from the January 13th meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Buller.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Droba. Any additional discussion? Commissioner Droba?
I don't understand. Why wouldn't these just have been with the minutes regardless? I mean, they are, right? They were.
Well, it's a very literal interpretation. So they're asking, and the document that was provided by them was an extract of minutes. Mm-hmm. And in our minutes, we don't include our resolutions. And the extract of minutes, in essence, is the resolution that we adopted.
Right.
So all I'm saying is that we're adding the resolution to the text of the minutes instead of cutting and pasting and putting in there and amending it. We just don't do that typically. Okay. Actually, if you notice the minutes that the county does, they put all their resolutions within the text of their minutes. Well, we do many resolutions for all the, and it's laid out in the charter what you need to lay. Some of them, it would make the minutes very voluminous. So we just keep our resolutions separately. So I'm just asking that the record reflect that when we adopted the January 13 minutes, which we did, that was a meeting, if I recall, I think it was a Friday meeting, and we adopted them the following Monday, and so there wasn't time to actually get the document. So that's why, if there had been more time, I would have just stuck it in there and been done with it. So, and it's just a more form than over substance is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, those voting in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. At this time, we will open it up to the audience. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to address the EDA? No. Moving on to reports. Administrator Anderson.
Mr. President and Commissioners, what I've included in here, you see it's in blue ink, Moody's Investors Service. You can see that the rating action, so they did need to rate it before it's actually distributed to potential investors to purchase and bid on our bonds, which again is going to happen on Monday, February 10th. And you can see that Moody's has assigned a rating of AA3 to the EDA's refunding bonds of 2020A. And actually that rating is unchanged from the refunding issue that we did back in 2014. So it's the same rating, but it's relatively good rating. It's 3 notches below the federal government's AAA rating. And again, this is just for the Commission's information, and it explains what they considered in the rating and what could lead to an upgrade or what could lead to a downgrade, just in terms of general comments. And so I've provided that for your information.
Thank you.
Moving on then, as part of my report also, again, just for education purposes more than anything else, but this is the preliminary official statement, and this official statement is the document that our municipal advisor puts together to distribute to potential investors, and it talks about how the bond issue is structured in terms of principal payments and when they're due on October 1st and April 1st of each year, and running through April 1st of 2031, has background information on the community and talks about how the bonds are maturing, the call features and all of that. So this is a preliminary document, but this is what is distributed to people interested in investing and offering a bid on our bonds. So I provided that for your information as well. Next item is at the top of the page. It says International Falls Economic Development Authority, Minnesota, Rule 15C2-12 certificate. Again, that's for our $8,620,000 refunding bonds. And again, refunding is basically we're refinancing existing bonds that have been issued at a lower interest rate. So we have interest cost savings between now and April of 2031. And this document was necessary to be signed and certified by to the participating underwriters, and I signed it, and I'm asking for the board to authorize my signature on this particular document.
So I would entertain a motion to authorize the signature of the document by Secretary Anderson, acting, or Administrator, Secretary to this board, but City Administrator Anderson.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Nelson.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Droba. Discussion?
Mr. President, I would just say that for this item, and as well as the next one, or the next one, is that sometimes when you approve a resolution that says that you're authorizing a sale to move forward, there's also a provision in those resolutions that authorize the President, and in this case the Secretary, to sign any required or associated documents as you move forward. Our resolution did not have that provision, and again, I'm being very meticulous about making sure that the board is knowledgeable and aware of what's being signed and forwarded, and so that's why this particular certificate requires a signature, and it says that we're authorized to execute and deliver it. Well, I haven't been authorized by anybody. That's why I'm asking for your authorization now. And the same holds true for the next contract that Moody's requires before they'll issue their rating.
I appreciate your attention to detail. Is there any other questions? Okay, hearing none, those voting in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? None heard. Motion carries. I will vote yes. Motion carries 4-0. Next item, the Moody's contract.
Yeah, it's just a contract saying that, it specifies all the terms that they have in their warranties and covenants, and some definitions and what they're going to do, and explains what they're going to do for us and what they won't do or what they're not liable for. And this is a standard authorization form. The document was actually completed by our municipal advisor, and I signed it because they wouldn't issue the rating without it, and sent it in. And so again, I'm asking for after-the-fact authorization for the signature, and
I would entertain a motion to authorize Secretary Anderson's signature on this document.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Buller,
Second.
second by Commissioner Droba. Discussion? Hearing none. Those voting in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I will vote yes. Motion carries 4-0.
And then, Mr. Chairman, the last item is as you see at the top of the page, it says Blue Rose Capital Advisors. Blue Rose serves as a bidding agent for this particular bond issue, and they are certified by the Securities and Exchange Commission, I guess, to do this work. And there's a contract here. Because it's a contract, this has not been signed yet. But in order for them to move forward and assist in this way, I've got it on the agenda for you to consider and authorize Blue Rose Capital Advisors to serve as the bidding agent for the upcoming Series 2020 bond issue and refunding.
I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Droba,
Second.
second by Commissioner Buller. Discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
So Moody's Investors Service, they don't find bids? Is that what this one does?
Well, actually, that's what, Mr. President, that's what Mr. George Erlertson will do with Northland Securities, is they market the preliminary official statement to other bidders. Blue Rose will serve as a bidding agent. I think they have to confirm the numbers and the bids that come in to verify the true interest cost and the net interest cost, and so they do some of that work. Actually, Blue Rose would have been one of the companies I would have contacted had we decided not to go forward with Northland Securities as a competing firm to try and do the work that Northland is doing for us. So.
Oh, okay.
And to better answer your question, Moody's is a credit rating agency for cities, municipalities, counties, states. They actually, the United States government holds a Moody's rating, so it's much like your FICO score.
Oh,
the
sure.
Moody's rating is our credit worthiness. So they're not issuing the bonds. They're just saying this is our credit score, and
Okay.
that's where Moody's role in all of this is.
Gotcha.
But in order for them to release it, we have to sign, and that's why we had to back sign so that we had it, so that we're on track for next Monday when we actually go to let the bonds. So, does that make sense?
It does.
Is there
Thank you.
any other discussion? Hearing none, those voting in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I vote yes. Motion carries 4-0. With that, the next meeting then will be during the Committee of the Whole meeting on Monday, February 10th. We will have a meeting at 5 o'clock to consider bond sales and awards. If there's no other business to come before this commission, I adjourn this meeting.